Ajay?
That's how you start. He's saying, you stop your SIP and buy a Merc. And I will take your house away when your car goes for repair.
No. I think that is that is a I don't know what to say to that. By the way, just a small point. Maybe it's just a minor point, but I should say it. The high today is. I mean, I'm nitpicking here now, but the high today is 18,604.35. The previous high on the 19th of October 2021 was 18,604.45. 0.35 is the high and 0.45 was the high on the 19th of October. So I just went back and checked. Yeah, I mean, so, but would you want to nitpick? So, I don't think so. It's
For
a new
all
high.
Practical purposes, we're there.
It's a new high, absolutely. Shankar Sharma is with us as well. Market veteran, needs no introduction. Shankar, hi. Sort of new highs for the index.
Only object to this term veteran.
I should not. A young investor, Shankar Sharma, is joining us now.
Yes, exactly. That's more like it.
Your thoughts, Shankar? How are you feeling, and what from here is the question?
Well, I'm feeling great. I'm in Istanbul researching Turkey. My India trade has worked fantastically well. So I said, let's look at the next trade after coupled with the India trade. So yeah, right now I'm in Istanbul looking at the country and feeling very bullish about Turkey as well. And of course, I've been very, very, very bullish on India from I think March, April, May, June. When the market was really not looking anywhere close to being as robust as it is now. So the trade has worked out very well. I think the gentleman, I don't know who it was saying that, if you had gotten in then, you would have recovered your losses and been in profit. I think that's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
And so it's been fantastic. I mean, I can't complain.
You've from the time that I've started speaking with you, maybe 2 decades ago, you've identified turning points. You're in Istanbul looking at the Turkish market, which is a completely bombed out market.
Yes.
It's at lows and we're at highs. Should we make something of it? What?
Yes. So India is a standout market. I think not just in the last 1 year or 6 months. I think it's going to be a standout market for the next several years.
Okay.
Could be 2, 3, 5, 10 years. I mean, I don't think any other market will compare. If ticking all the boxes. I'm absolutely clear. There will be obviously ups and downs. That's part and parcel of the game. But at every point out into the future, India will be standing out as a clear outperformer. And but then the way I invest is that not always all eggs in one basket. And
sure.
Turkey. I bought about 2 months back the ETF, which was 23-24. It's up 40% as a market in dollar terms in 2 months' time. So that is working out well. I think India and Turkey, if you ask me, both very similar countries, both great industrial powerhouses which have been shadowed by China. They are now coming into their own. And India, of course, is way ahead on all macroeconomic parameters. But then this is trade number 2, where I'm right now, researching, seeing, absorbing the atmosphere.
Okay, so Istanbul is, or rather Turkey is trade number 2, but we do have more opinion coming in. We have Mark Mobius, who's the founder of Mobius Capital Partners, joining in to discuss the euphoria in the Indian markets. Mark, hi, welcome to the show. Well, how would you approach...
Hi, how are you?
Very fine, and the markets are even better at this point. So tell us how you'd approach India from here on.
Well, we're very positive on India, as you know, from a long-term perspective. Of course, you've got to expect some volatility in every market, but India, the picture is so bright, and things are going so well for India. We're positive long-term. And of course, what's happening in China now is a lesson to anyone whose supply chain depends on China. They've got to wake up to the reality that depending on China for their supplies is a very dangerous kind of process, and they've got to diversify, and the place to diversify into, of course, is India. So it's a very, very good picture, I would say.
Mark, should we... so how should one read that in terms of flows? I mean, a steady foreign inflows from here on as well, Mark? I mean, what's your sense?
Oh yes, definitely. I've soon as we get more money and we put more into India, plus we diversify. Turkey, we're putting money into Turkey, we put money into Brazil and others. But at the end of the day, India is going to be the bright spot from a long-term perspective. But of course, one constraint for India is the government regulation. As you know, for foreigners to come into India, there's some bureaucratic steps that have to take place. And the degree to which Mr. Modi is going to eliminate these barriers will be a big plus for the market. And I know he's working on that. He's programmed to speed up the improvement or the agreement process is very, very important.
Okay. Mark, what do you make of the sectors from here on? Which ones are you bullish on? Because we are already talking about highs on the Nifty. You expect some other sectors apart from banking to contribute to these gains?
Yes, I think the tech sector, both software and hardware, from a longer-term perspective, has got to be good for India. As you know, India is already a top performer in the software arena, but I think that is going to grow further, not only for export, but also for domestic software consumption. But then hardware, you've got to see a big increase in hardware production in India.
Okay. Shankar, actually, I just wanted to bring that point forward with regards to the entire tech sector. We've seen massive layoffs taking place in the global tech firms. Back home, we've seen the likes of Wipro, TechM not really perform as compared to what we saw in terms of highs last year. How would you approach the entire IT space? How much is it in terms of a constituent of your portfolio at this point?
No, many IT stocks in my personal portfolio. On the fund side, of course, that's different because there is an index that needs to be obviously followed to some extent. On a personal basis, I don't think, there is big money to be made in any of these companies. I mean, they are large, well-discovered, well-understood companies. There is not much hidden value. And if anything, the bias should be a little, negative given their core market, the U.S., being in a bit of a pickle. There is a problem in the U.S., based on everything that you see anecdotally, as well as, utterances of people like Jeff Bezos who are retailing brains and giants. If they say not very good things about consumer spend and, related things, then we have to take it seriously. It's not just lose opinion. So all said and done, this is not the trade you're going to make a significant amount of money on at all.
Okay. All right, Shankar, Mark and Mihir and Ajay as well, thank you so much for joining us. We were talking about that 0.10 difference on the Nifty. It's like that Turkish ice cream seller, right? He was just talking about Istanbul, so I thought of that. That's so close yet so far. Just, of course, a small point there. But, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us and taking us through your market outlook and on a day like this when we are just so close there as well. With that, we'll do one thing. We'll slip into a short break. We'll get you more on markets and stock-specific action on the other side. Stay tuned.